Hello everybody, my name is Ord, and this is Ord Narrations. Today we're reading a story about a woman who isn't quite sure what to make of her relationship anymore. So, let's get started. Hello all, thanks for reading. Me and my boyfriend are early 30s, have lived together for about 6 years now. For my part in this relationship, I do 99% of the dishes, washing and folding clothes, cleaning the house, washing the floors, cleaning the bathroom, and every day to make the bed, and taking out the trash. I do cat duty, daily water replacement, giving him food, cleaning his litter, ordering food for him every month, and taking him to the vet. I also pay the bills and keep an eye on the water, gas, power index. In my country, you need to report these monthly online to get an accurate bill. My parents left me a sum of money after finishing college, and I gave him around $6,500 of it so he can buy a brand new SUV. Parents gave him the rest instead of selling his second-hand car that was not running anymore, so he could buy another shitty second-hand. He uses his car to go on vacation, camping, hobby stuff often, and is really attached to it. He has cheated on me last year. He said he kissed and touched the privates of a girl whom he went on a vacation with for 2 weeks. They know each other for a few months prior since they had the same hobby. They were posting pics of them sitting alone together on Instagram. But I'll never know if he was telling the truth. When he cheated on me, I was extremely stressed and irritated as I was in my last year of college. Oh, OP, I'm sorry to hear that. As far as doing things in the relationship, he deals with everything that has to do with the car. I don't know how to drive, and I'm not sure I ever have the courage to do it. To that point, he asked me this evening to go out and buy him some stuff like soda. After I came back from the store, he said he was finishing a mission on his video game, Red Dead Redemption 2, and then we can prepare dinner and watch a movie. Apparently, I didn't hear him right, because I sat down on the sofa to wait for him to finish his campaign, and at some point he looked at me and started screaming, "What are you doing?" I said, "Go make your food, I'm hungry. I was waiting for you to make your dinner, and you're just sitting there? Every single time I have to point out things to you because you're incapable of doing them unless someone shows you like a toddler." Sounds like you just need to leave this guy. At this point, I tried explaining to him that I misunderstood what he said, but he continued yelling that he's hungry and he has to wait for me to make my instant ramen. To paint a picture, he's only had to wait maximum of 2 minutes so I could boil some water in the electric kettle, and that's it. He never complains when I wash his dishes or clothes, of course, and rarely thanks me. I'm sorry for the TLDR. You don't need to apologize, OP. And beyond sad and exhausted and lifeless, I feel like all of the things I do around the house are taken for granted, but when I make a small mistake or inconvenience him, he's quick to jump and point it out. I don't know what to do. Of course, I'm crying as I type this. OP, I think you know the solution here. He is taking you for completely for granted. It doesn't sound like it will change, unfortunately. He yelled at me for other things in the past. I once put an unopened soda can on some random car for a few seconds so I can comb my hair, and he started yelling at me in public that I'm damaging the car. Thankfully, he never physically hit me, but it still hurts to be yelled at for minor things. Personally, OP, I think public disrespect like that is kind of one of the most awful things you can do to your partner. The best way of handling a situation like that would be to, if you're really that bothered, or if they're really that bothered, having a quiet word with them once you're in a more private setting, because it's not actually appropriate to be yelling at people in public like that. It's difficult to see things clearly, and I would appreciate your input. I'm unattractive, have no friends, and pretty much spend time at work, customer support where I'm yelled at multiple times a day, or playing video games, take anxiety and ADHD medication. Exiting this relationship means I'll be much more isolated, which scares me. Unfortunately, it sounds like that's probably the best thing to do. What's that quote? Better to be alone than with a crowd of people that make you feel lonely, I think is the quote. Sexually, I have no libido, but I force myself to please him from time to time, BJ's, and after I'm done, he pulls his pants and goes to sleep. I don't think he's asked me more than a couple times in 6 years if I want to be finished too. He has a lot of friends and speaks to multiple people daily. I'm the opposite. Also farts a ton next to me daily. I don't understand how he's so successful socially. I feel like a joke to people. Ever since I can remember, I was treated badly by others. Bullying in school, violence at home. I'm essentially treated like a walking doormat. I'm so tired of being treated this way by people. Words can't express how much I want to just be alone and not to speak with another soul again. Thank you for reading. Excuse any typing mistakes. If you need any more answers, ask me and I'll do my best to reply. OP, it sounds like you just need to get out of there. Sounds like he's worn you down and is now using you now that you're like broken, if that makes sense. The best way to kind of stop feeling like a doormat to begin with would be to break up. That is the biggest power play that you have I know it would be terrifying, but that would be the biggest power play. It's the best way of like taking the reins back. It'll also help him realize what he's lost out on. Let's read a couple of the replies. Damn, that sucks. Sounds like he's taking you for granted and not treating you with respect. Have you talked to him about how his words make you feel? Maybe it's time to consider if this relationship is worth all the stress and emotional toll on your well-being. Well said. Well said. I completely agree with that. I completely agree with that. It would definitely be worth taking some time away from him and having a think about those questions and trying to weigh up, like, is it worth it? In 10 years' time, would you be happy to be in exactly the same situation? Someone else replied, you already know what to do, and you know the issue. You allow him to treat you like a doormat, and so he will. He only cares about himself, which you already know. He only cares about you to the extent that you do things for him. You know what to do. Just walk. A little bit more of a blunt way of putting it, but yeah, I think this message is correct. Maybe could have been phrased a bit better, but this summarizes the situation pretty well. So, what do you think? What do you think OP should do in this situation? What would you do if you were in this situation? Let me know in the comments. Okay, thank you very much for listening. That'll do for today.